Mark, thank you very much. It really means a lot coming from you to present this award, and of course to Harold and to the entire board, Council of Industry. It's a great privilege to fight for you and to work hard for you for all that you do for our region and for our country, and I thank you. I also want to extend my congratulations to the other awardees, to Bruce and the entire team at MPI. Congratulations, and to Doc Cat, Ms. O'Connor, and the entire team at SUNY Ulster. Well done. Just yesterday, I was with you once again, and I just want to express my gratitude for what you do for veterans, and shown yesterday, and then of course what you do for our youth in the very engaged way that you bring forward education at SUNY Ulster. And speaking of education, I just want to say this right up front, that I'm deeply indebted to the Council of Industry for their mentorship for me. Coming out of the Army in 2010, I've had the wonderful opportunity to be with you on so many occasions, Harold individually, but really the board, and also, as was mentioned, many of our manufacturers all throughout the region to come in to listen very carefully to what you're doing very well, and also to what your challenges are. You've been very candid sharing those challenges. That's helped me be a better representative. And specifically what we're trying to do is change the underlying environment to make it more conducive to growth. But in a larger sense, what we're trying to do is restore faith in our way of life, in our representative form of government, with constituent-driven legislation. So whether it be in supporting manufacturing, or looking to address Lyme disease, expand broadband, or support farmers, to bring constituent-driven representation and legislation forward. And so I thank you for what you've done to educate me on the issue to be a more effective representative. Manufacturing, as was mentioned here this morning, is so critically important now and to our country's future. And I'll just list a few reasons why. First of all, for our own independence, for our self-reliance. And I would argue, as a guy who spent 29 years in uniform, it's very important to the future in terms of our interest in a long period of peace. This is a year that we're going to finish up in Afghanistan, after several years ago finishing up in Iraq. And as we work our diplomacy and hope for and pray for a long period of peace, our ability to be independent and self-reliant is going to play into this. It's going to be a major factor. I mean, candidly, you look at the history of mankind, and where you see conflict, you see fighting over scarce resources. And for countries that are looking for ways to be viable and independent. And we do so much to help ourselves by promoting this area of the economy. It's also critically important for our economic vitality as we're working to grow and to get back to periods where we had 4 or 5% GDP growth. Absolutely possible. We focus on this and work together. And I want to also tell you that I believe that this is an area where we can make a huge difference with income inequality. You often see this bandied about in the political arena, but government has a key role to play in terms of facilitation, changing the underlying business environment. But we know we just can't spend our way, because if that were true, then Kazakhstan would print $10 trillion in just variance. There's got to be more. There's got to be value added in the production of the economy. And absolutely brains is key to this. But you know what? At the end of the day, we still need to be a country that makes things with our hands. And you guys do this. You guys really give us hope on that score. And you have been fighting in very challenging circumstances to hold your own and to do more and to flourish. And for that, you're heroes for all our country, and we need to do more to support that. And why I think this is important for income inequality is who holds these jobs in manufacturing and construction? Well, it's folks that generally make $65,000 to $80,000 a year and who get benefits, and including a pension of some kind. We're talking about middle-class jobs. And that's why by restoring this element and making it stronger in our economy, we will not only be stronger as a nation, but we'll address a critical piece of the American dream, which is really helping address the income inequality in our country. And so based on what I've learned listening to you guys. You know, the pro-growth policies, it's frustrating for me because oftentimes the parties talk past each other on this. Republicans tend to talk about all supply side, Democrats talk about demand side. You know, my read of history is both, and listening also to the council. You know, we need a tax code that has to be updated. It's complex and unfair right now in anti-growth. We're fighting for that. It's going to be a process. It took 5.5 years in the 1980s to get it. We're underway now. We have some drafts out there. We've got more work to be done to be able to make sure that it is pro-growth. But we're on our way to doing that. Regulatory relief and reform. So important. And then also energy independence. We know that energy costs cascade all throughout our economy. As was mentioned, the capacity zone, I think, is ill-advised. Been fighting that, along with many of my colleagues, certainly a bipartisan issue. I appreciate the leadership Central Hudson has brought to this, as other entities have done. We've got more work to do on that. And then also healthcare. You know, driving down healthcare costs is important. The fifth variable is investments. Smart investments. This is where Democrats often bring this up, and they're right on that score. This is where we need to listen to each other. You know, that farm bill was really important to our area. Also, education. You know, we're recognizing today SUNY Ulster, and we have of course, SUNY New Paltz here today, and we're proud of our entire SUNY system. We're also proud of our BOCES. You know, I have 2 siblings that graduated from BOCES, and when you look at our approach to support manufacturing and construction, we cannot let this be marginalized. This is really important, and I applaud the council for what they're doing to bring together the educational activities along with the manufacturers to bring forward a better prepared individual to take this actions on. So, and then finally, the last variable has to do with access to capital and smart trade policies. This is what I've learned from listening to you. These are the policies that I'm arguing and advancing and fighting for down in Washington. And I believe that these are not partisan positions. They're really American positions that we can all rally upon. So thank you very much for this recognition. I know my dad's looking down from heaven as a guy who was in the building trades. And this is a special moment for our family. It's an honor and privilege to serve each and every one of you. And God bless you. Thank you for what you're doing for our country. Thank you.